What they stole, and more.
And a group of SUNY Oswego theater students were given awards which performance earned them recognition.
Plus, tomorrow is Admitted Students Day at SUNY Oswego. What to expect around campus?
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Kinjal Guru.
And I'm Julianne Fike.
When Oswego's Common Council meet for the first time next year, there will be plenty of new faces regardless of the outcome of Election Day. 6 of 7 current members on the council are not seeking for re-election for another 2-year term. Councillor John Kosek is term limited this year, and other 5 councillors have decided not to run for various reasons.
That will leave Tim Pluckett as the only veteran councillor if he is re-elected. The turnover means control is up for grabs. Democrats who have been shut out of city government the past 2 years have an opportunity to reclaim a seat at the table, and it's a change for new Republicans to get their shot on the council.
SUNY Oswego is having their first Admitted Students Day of the year tomorrow from 10:30 to 5:30 p.m. This event is specifically designed for the students who have already been admitted to SUNY Oswego. The event will provide an opportunity for the students to tour around the campus and resident halls, meet with the faculty, staff, and students, learn about the financial aid, and find out various academic possibilities offered here.
SUNY Oswego theater students headed to the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival in Pittsburgh earlier this year. 10 students performed the final act of the Laramie Project at the conference. Many members of the ensemble were recognized individually at the festival, and they were celebrated for their costume design. Sustainability was important to the production team, and almost all of the costumes were thrifted.
A man accused of kidnapping and assaulting a man in Fulton basement took a last-minute plea deal rather than going to trial. Chance Stewart appeared in Oswego County Court for a pre-trial conference ahead of his trial that was scheduled to begin on April 14th. Judge Armand Nazarian said that the parties agreed that Stewart would plead guilty to one count of the first-degree attempted assault, which carries a possible sentence of 7 to 15 years. Right now in Penfield Library, students are using their voices to spread their talents and creativity.
WTOP-10 reporter Luke Baker brings us details on tonight's open mic night. Luke?
Thanks, guys. Open mic night is one of SUNY Oswego's best opportunities to get connected with others and the campus. Events are hosted frequently and offer prizes and refreshments to those who show up early. We're on the 5th night of fun this semester with 3 more chances to showcase your talent in April. These events are open for all students regardless of talent. So, if you have a favorite song, deep poem, or any other written expression of creativity, then consider dropping by. If you couldn't make it happen tonight, the rest of the dates can be found on the campus calendar. Check back frequently to be informed on all future campus events. That's all for me. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Luke.
Police in New York are looking for a group of masked men who forced their way into a Queens home. They say the family was tied up and $1 million worth of valuables were stolen from the residence. No one was hurt during the break-in, but the woman who was robbed and does not wish to be identified says she has no idea who these intruders could be.
A 52-year-old man was struck and killed by a number 2 train in Times Square this morning. It has been reported that the man was riding between subway train cars when he lost his balance and fell between the second and third car. At the same time, the number 2 downtown express train had just entered the station, which resulted on the spot death of the man.
A partial solar eclipse will be visible in the northern hemisphere this Saturday. Some people in the U.S. and Canada will be able to see a double sunrise. This silhouette of the moon makes the rising sun look like 2 separate horns emerging from the horizon. The double sunrise will be most visible in Syracuse from 6:51 a.m. to 7:09 a.m.
It's been 1 week since the start of spring, and the weather is still pretty cold.
It definitely has been, and I hope things start to warm up. Let's take a look at the weather with our Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, thank you guys. I do have some good news for you. It is going to warm up. Not this week, maybe later into next week. But this weekend, it is going to rain a lot. We're going to have a washout weekend, unfortunately, and it is going to be cold enough. We might have a little bit of a wintry mix in there, so you might want to watch out for that. That's more of like a late night issue if you're going out or whatnot. Like I said, spring is here finally, but with spring does come showers. So unfortunately, it is going to rain a bit this weekend, but we did have a little bit of curveball yesterday. If you woke up in the morning, you must have noticed snow on the ground. It was a little over an inch. I was a little shocked having to brush off a whole lot of snow off my car. It definitely threw me off a little bit. I'll have more about the rain and my forecast later. But now back to the desk.
Thanks, Ryan. Still ahead tonight, get updates on one of the biggest crypto scams in history.
Plus, meet the rather interesting reporters of the Arizona Supreme Court.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
And welcome back to WTOP-10. I'm meteorologist Ryan Murphy with your local weather forecast. Now we're going to start off by taking a look at our live satellite and radar. We see there's a couple lingering showers over in our area. Those are going to move on throughout the night, and we're going to have a little more cloudy skies and whatnot. But I promise you it will clear up for tomorrow. Now, it is springtime, and during springtime, golf courses do open. So if you have the itch to golf, I know I do, tomorrow will be your best day. We're going to have partly cloudy skies with a high of 45 degrees. Now this weekend, however, you might not want to go. It is going to rain a lot this weekend, unfortunately. It's going to be a little bit colder, except for Sunday there, where it's going to creep down to 50. I'll get more into that rain in a bit. But now, taking a look at our current conditions outside, it is pretty cloudy out with a cooler 45 degrees. It is a bit breezy outside as well. Again, if you're going out tonight, you may want to keep all of this in mind. It is going to be pretty cold, just hugging that freezing line, most places a degree or two over it. Even going as cold into the 20s upstate, but our area for the most part sitting in those low 30s. Now, taking a look at the next few days, like I mentioned earlier, there is going to be a lot of rain, especially this weekend, unfortunately, especially on Sunday, where we're going to get the bulk of that rain. We're going to have it on Saturday and Monday, but it will move out on Tuesday. We only have a 3% chance of rain, but you are going to want to keep that in mind if you got any plans or whatnot this weekend. You might want to cancel those if you're doing anything outside, unless you're indoors. Now, taking a look at our futurecast here, you'll see tomorrow evening, it'll be pretty cloudy outside, but all of that will move on out. And now going into early Saturday morning, you'll see those showers will start to move on in, and that will be like that throughout the day. Throughout the night into the morning, and those showers will roll on out, but more showers will come back on Sunday, unfortunately. But they will begin to move on out into late Sunday night and have a little bit of rain here or there on Monday. That's nothing to worry about. Now tonight, it is going to be a cooler 33 degrees. It is going to be a little breezy out there, so like I said, if you're going out, you might want to grab a jacket or something. But tomorrow will be that warmer, 45 degrees. We're going to get to see the sun. You might want to enjoy it, to go outside or whatnot, because we're not going to have much of that over the next few days. Now, looking at our 3-day forecast, like I mentioned here on Friday, which is tomorrow, it'll be a nice 45 degrees, but it is going to be colder at night throughout the weekend and whatnot, so we want to keep that in mind. Again, you want to grab a rain jacket or whatnot, because you are going to need that throughout the weekend. On Monday, it is going to be much warmer, but unfortunately, we do have that threat of rain showers, mostly in the morning. But it will clear on out Tuesday, but there's a little bit of a curveball there. Tuesday morning, we might get a little more snow, but at least the sun comes on out. Now, Wednesday, it'll be much warmer, and same thing with Thursday. That's all I have for my weather forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Ryan. Convicted cryptocurrency fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried has been moved from federal jail in New York City, where he's been since August 2023. Bankman-Fried, founder of crypto exchange FTX, relocated to an unknown facility in Oklahoma City, where he will serve out the rest of his 25-year sentence. FTX collapsed in 2022 when customers discovered Bankman-Fried had been stealing their money. Prosecutors call it one of the largest financial frauds in the U.S. history.
President Donald Trump has decided to withdraw Elise Stefanik's nomination to be U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. The president stated in a social media post that he requested that the New York Republicans stay in Congress. Trump says Stefanik can instead help him achieving his legislative agenda on tax cuts, foreign policy, and border security. He looks forward to Stefanik joining his administration in the future.
The Arizona Supreme Court has added not one, but 2 new reporters to their staff.
Though they're not who you expect, Bree Pallas is here to introduce them.
Arizona Supreme Court added 2 new staff members, Victoria and Daniel, AI-generated reporters designed to explain court rulings.
When a decision comes out from the Arizona Supreme Court, the justice who wrote the opinion also writes a synopsis or short version of that opinion, and that opinion is what is given to the AI so that they can report out, and people don't have to read, 20, 30, 100 pages of something. They can just have a little blurb that gives them what happened in that case.
The goal? To save time and improve access to information.
They can do this with the AI reporters in 20 minutes. So it's significant time saver and gets the information quicker to the public.
Here in Pima County, the courts have used AI for about a year, but they won't be adding AI reporters.
We do a lot more cases than the Supreme Court, and we do in vast different areas, some of which are very personal and don't, such as juvenile cases that aren't put out to the public anyway.
However, local attorneys are already using AI to speed up their process.
Judicial research or legal research with lawyers has always been what they do. It started with books, then it was computers, now it's AI along with the computers. I think it speeds up legal research tremendously.
While AI helps attorneys work faster, it still requires human oversight.
It's not perfect. It can give you wrong information, so you have to research what it gave you, but it cuts down a lot of the research to get there.
Having AI in the courtroom could reduce attorney fees by half, saving clients money.
And with the shortage of Pima County lawyers, the firm could better keep up with its clients.
An elderly Minnesota man will spend his rest of his days in prison for a murder that happened 5 decades ago. 84-year-old Joan Kate Miller was charged last November with the murder of 25-year-old Mary Silas. Silas was a graduate student of University of Minnesota living in Minneapolis, and she was found dead in Spring Brook, Wisconsin in February of 1974. Miller pleaded no contest and will spend remaining years behind bars.
Las Vegas police have arrested a man who has allegedly set fire to a Tesla service center last week. 36-year-old Paul Kim was arrested on Wednesday on multiple charges, including arson, destruction of property, and possession of explosive devices. The police allege that Kim caused the fires using Molotov cocktails, and at least 5 vehicles were damaged in the attack. Kim is now scheduled to appear in court Thursday afternoon.
When WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, a Grammy Award-winning artist is opening a pop-up pub in Boston.
And which flavor of Tostitos chips is getting recalled?
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a closer to that one.
Matthew, broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News.
In consumer news, Oswego Health Department has announced the date of a mobile food pantry. The department has partnered with the Food Bank of Central New York to bring food to those in need of assistance. The food pantry will make 2 appearances in the month of April. Tuesday, April 1st in Constantina and Friday, April 18th in Oswego. Boxes of food are limited to 1 per household while supplies last.
Frito-Lay announced a recall of its Tostitos Cantina traditional yellow corn tortilla chips. The company says the product may contain undeclared milk that can pose a potential health threat for people with dairy-related allergies. The chips in question were sent to retailers in 13 states. This recall does not impact any other Tostitos products.
Singer Ed Sheeran is opening a pop-up pub in the Boston area inspired by his newest single. The Old Phone Pub in IP Switch will open tomorrow. Ed Sheeran said that it's a full working pub, but it will only be open for 2 days. The menu will include Guinness and tater tots. Sheeran hasn't officially confirmed that he will be there, but the show host Jimmy Fallon said that the singer will be in attendance.
It is officially spring and time of year when many people decide to tidy up around the house. Experts say this season of new beginnings and growth can also give your brain a boost.
In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither talks to a psychologist about ways spring cleaning can help your mental health and how to avoid procrastination to get the things done.
So long, winter. It's time to welcome a new season. Spring has finally sprung, and if you're thinking of cleaning out your home, it may also help your health.
When we engage in some sort of spring cleaning, it helps us kind of declutter not only our environment, but it can also help us declutter our minds.
Psychologist Adam Borland with Cleveland Clinic says spring cleaning can give our brains a boost, helping us to manage stress, elevate our mood, and provide a sense of accomplishment, which can all go a long way to helping mental health.
Spring cleaning can help us improve our focus. It can help with energy in terms of finding small activities in order to engage with and then seeing those through to completion. If we enlist the help of others, there can certainly be a social dynamic as well.
But Borland says a key to decluttering your home and mind is not tackling too much at one time. He says to set small goals and get the easiest item on your list done first. If procrastination is stopping you, take advantage of good days when you have more energy. Once you start, it'll be easier to get through it. And make it a team effort. Enlisting others can help get the job done. Finally, focus on the happiness a cleaner home will bring.
It's really an opportunity to kind of get out of that hibernation mode. Cleaning up the house can feel like a sense of rejuvenation and kind of restarting, which can be a wonderful feeling, especially after the long months of winter.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Some people may struggle with procrastination or tackling day-to-day tasks like cleaning.
Cleveland Clinic psychologists recommend those people reach out to a mental health professional who can help.
Today is the start of something big in the sports world.
It sure is, Kinjal, and our Luke Belanger is here to tell us all about it.
Thank you, guys. Today is a big day, and we will get to it. But first, a quick break. When we come back, opening day for the MLB and much more right here on WTOP-10 Nightly News.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm going to drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Okay. I do normally read fast. I was telling myself to
in this dating
slow,
app.
actually.
Yep, I'm definitely going to call a ride home.
I'll read normal. Yeah, right. Okay. Sounds good.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30? Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man. Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a closer with that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to WTOP 10. I'm Luke Belanger here with your sports report. To start out tonight, I think we need to address something. Corey O'Connor is on a better run right now than Kendrick in the beef with Drake. He has scored 4 goals in the last 3 games for the men's lacrosse team. To go along with that, he also had an assist in each of those games. The Lakers have had a shaky start to the season, but if one thing is true, the senior has been phenomenal for this team. They took down Cayuga 11-2 yesterday and will look forward to New Paltz on Saturday. After a long trip to Virginia and a smaller one to Cortland, the Oswego baseball team is finally home. The Lakers went 8-6 over the stretch, and today they look to extend their winning streak to 3 against the Blue Devils of Fredonia. Unfortunately, the Lakers couldn't squeeze out a victory after showing life in the 9th inning as they were down 2, got one on the board, but a ground out would end their hope. They dropped this one 5-3. Luckily for them, they have 2 chances tomorrow as they will square off against the Blue Devils again at 12 and 3 p.m. Just as the Lakers had their first home game today, multiple teams in the MLB did as well. Today marks the day where 30 teams will start their campaign to the ultimate goal, a World Series championship. Last year, it being the LA Dodgers that held the trophy high, they are looking like one of the best teams this year again. The Yankees squeezed out a victory over the Brewers as Wells and Volpe would homer. They are back in action against Milwaukee on Saturday. First pitch is at 1:05 p.m. As for the Mets and their new toy Juan Soto, they fell to the Astros 3-1. Soto went 1-3 with 2 walks. The Mets will be under the lights in Houston tomorrow for Game 2 of the series. First pitch will be at 8:10. The 2-time reigning MVP Nikola Jokic is having yet another historic season, averaging almost a triple-double and also having the first 30-20-20 game of all time. But there's a man in his way, Mr. Aura himself, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai is averaging almost 33 points per game, over 6 assists per game, and 5.1 rebounds per game. He also leads the number one overall seed Oklahoma City Thunder to a very impressive 60-12 record. Experts are saying this is going to be one of the closest races yet, as both have a serious case for the league's most valuable player. On Monday, the Celtics continued their West Coast trip against the Sacramento Kings. This late in the season, an injury to your star player is the last thing you want to help happen. The Celtics star, Jason Tatum, was shooting a 3 from the left wing when Domantas Sabonis landed in his landing area and caused Tatum to roll his ankle. Tatum was benched for the rest of this game. In a later press conference, Sabonis said that he felt absolutely terrible for injuring Tatum. The Celtics were short of Tatum last night against the Suns and absolutely steamrolled them. Let's take a look. Like I said, the Suns and the Celtics in Phoenix. This game was very, very good. We will be right back here on WTOP-10 after the break.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kind of Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating. I think you're wrong, is what I think. You think I'm wrong a lot of times. I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. Betty White, America's Golden Girl, is getting a forever tribute.
The U.S. Postal Service unveiled their Betty White Forever stamp on Thursday.
The stamp features Betty in a polka dot top with her warm smile and iconic blonde curls. She also has a paw print earring to symbolize her love for animals.
You can buy the collectible stamp on the USPS website and at post offices locations nationwide. So did you guys watch Golden Girls growing up?
Golden Girls? No, I did not.
I know you never did.
No Golden Girls for me, personally.
My sisters might have, but I don't know.
Quick little something for sports. 2 games concluded in the Sweet 16. Florida took down Maryland 87-71, and Alabama with a record 22 threes, a record in the NCAA tournament, beat BYU 113-88. We have 2 more games. 1 game going on right now. The Duke Blue Devils face against the Arizona Wildcats, the 1 versus 4 matchup. 13-10, Arizona is leading right now.
That's great. Do you have any last comments on weather?
Well, it is going to be a little bit of a washout this weekend, unfortunately, but that will go away. You know, it will get a little bit warmer. It is springtime. Hope we get away from Oswego's weather. It's been way too cold. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to miss this.
That snow, I was like,
And welcome back into season number 23, episode number 2 of Laker Connections, your only place for all things Laker sports. I am Ken Gerard, coincided by the lucky Lucas McGarry. And Lucas, before we get started tonight, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. Came off of a nice, fun, relaxing break, and I'm ready to get back into some Laker sports action.
I'm also missing the Outer Banks, but we'll get into that later. But Lucas, I think it is time for our Wheelhouse Wire. For those at home who do not know what the Wheelhouse Wire is, simply put, we're going to talk about all things Oswego hockey, and it will be the last Wheelhouse Wire of the entire season,
Very
Lucas.
tragic.
As the regular season and now the postseason are in the rearview mirror since our last episode, we got a lot to talk about. But Lucas, I'm going to have you start us off with the men's SUNYAC team, who are now SUNYAC champions.
What a historic season it was for the Oswego women.
Break the fourth wall. That's not.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that is not the right one. So.
Well, let's talk about the men's team. So
yeah,
they come into
the men's
SUNYAC
team,
championship.
They did. Yep.
And they go against Plattsburgh. So a team that they were 0-2 in the last 2 years against. They could not beat them in the postseason. And this year they come in and they successfully flip the bird. And that's the first time they've ever done it in a long time.
In all the years that I've been here at Oswego, I'm a junior now, and I've watched them lose in the playoffs to Plattsburgh twice in my first 2 years here. To see them win now after those 2 years, it's a really, really good feeling as an Oswego fan.
It's exciting. And I mean, in a way, they haven't won since 2014. So even us at TOP had a little bit of fun because we got to called a game that a lot of people are jealous of. Shout out Kyle Spizak and Burge and all those guys who I know are just a wee bit jealous of getting to that photo of me holding up that trophy. But anyway, yeah, it was a great time. It was a great game to call. It was a lot of fun. It looked like the Lakers had control through the majority of this game, and the Plattsburgh was a team we talked about. They come back down 3-0 with 9 minutes left in the third against Cortland. They come in and like, oh, all right, maybe this is the team that could pull up an upset of that magnitude. And, well, in this one, they just weren't able to do it, and the Lakers hold on to win that one and hold the Cardinals finally for the first time in 3 years at home.
Yeah, I was really, really worried when they went down 3 goals in that third period, and we were just like, Plattsburgh's done this now twice in the playoffs. There's a really good chance they can come back and kill all of our dreams. But Oswego held on, and they were the SUNY champs.
Well, let's talk about the women's team now. What a historic season it was for the Oswego women's ice hockey team. They ended their season with a 22-3-2 record and ended at 7 on the USCHO poll. Now, they went 15-1-2 in conference for the entire season. Now, that one loss to Plattsburgh in the North Country, 2-0. And that score would come back to haunt them in the SUNY Championship as the Lakers dropped that game 2-0 against the 2025 Women's Ice Hockey SUNY champions, the Plattsburgh State Cardinals. Now, Lucas, what went wrong for the Lakers in this one, and what can we look forward to in the next season?
For what went wrong, I could not tell you what went wrong. They just completely rolled over onto their backs and just gave up in the championship game. They played so strong all season, and then with the game on the line, when the lights were bright, they just crumbled under the pressure against Plattsburgh. And just watching them, you just saw the whole time, just no offensive pressure. They only managed 17 shots the whole game, like you see there, while Plattsburgh outshot them, racking up 28 shots. It's just a really, really embarrassing way to finish the season, honestly, after doing so well. And I hate saying that because they had such a good season, but then you roll over and you just basically die and you lose 2-0. You don't score anything in the SUNY title. It's just a very, very disappointing finish for them.
It is, and I look at it as a team that had so much pressure on them all season long. They have a historic run, their best record of all time, and it's only their second season in the SUNY, and they make it into the championship. They had that pressures coming in as a number 4 squad. They knew they were win and in, and if they lost, they might have lost in the pairwise poll to Colby, which we will get to. But let's move on now to the men's team, who did get into the tournament with that automatic bid after defeating the Cardinals. So, Oswego celebrated after finally defeating Plattsburgh State and successfully flipping the bird in the SUNY championship. The first championship win since back-to-back wins in 2013 and 2014. That winning feeling would come crashing down in the first round of the NCAA tournament when the Lakers met with the tournament first-timers, the Trine Thunder. It was controlled through most of the game for the Lakers as they traveled to Angola, Indiana for a tough test against the Thunder. It'd be a close one until it all broke loose late in the second and the game ended in a 4-1 loss, ending their season. Now, Lucas, what a season it was for Oswego. Let's talk about it.
No, yeah, I mean, when I called my first game, I was an analyst on the scene for the first game that the Oswego men's team had, and everyone on the panel basically was like, this might be a rebuild season for the Lakers. And now fast forwarding to now and seeing how they won the SUNY title, they had so many new guys everywhere, just so much talent on that we didn't even know that they had. All of those guys that they picked up. Kudos to Gosek. He knew exactly what he was doing, and that recruiting class that he pulled in was absolutely, you couldn't have said it better. It 100% is. So for them to do that and flip the bird, quite literally, and flip the whole script of what their season was supposed to be, absolutely impressive. And then to lose to Trine, I mean, they were the underdogs. We pretty much probably knew it was going to happen, but a really, really good season for them overall. And then the Oswego State women's hockey team finished the 2024-25 season with an outstanding record of 22-3-2 overall and 15-1 in the SUNY, earning the top seed in the conference tournament. However, despite their impressive performance, they, like Kenny said, fell 2-0 to Plattsburgh State in the SUNY championship, missing out on the automatic NCAA tournament berth. The Lakers had strong chances, but this loss left Oswego hoping for an at-large bid. But it was Colby College who went 18-7-2 and had a very odd SUNY, or not SUNY, but a conference record of 9-5-2. 0-1-2.
Hello.
That earned the final spot in the NCAA tournament. Colby, despite not winning their conference, had a stronger overall record and were favored by the selection committee due to the strength of their schedule and their national ranking. A fortunate end to a truly historic season for the Lakers, but it's now added motivation for next year.
Yeah, and it's tough for that Lakers team because when you look at some of the side-by-side stats, Oswego on the ice was probably the better team. And that's, again, you don't know because they didn't meet up and they didn't play. But I will say, it is very heartbreaking if you're an Oswego fan or member of that squad just because of the fact that Colby College's conference championship game, which they lost, I might add.
Conference semifinals.
They
didn't even make it. Yeah, didn't even make it to the conference finals.
They lost at a neutral site, and Oswego lost at home. So if the SUNYACs were at a neutral site, the Lakers would have made it into the tournament. But because it was not, they missed out. But Lucas,
really
that's all the time we have for our A block and our final, unfortunately, Wheelhouse Wire for the school year, I guess, unfortunately, in the semester. But that'll be back in the near future. But we're going to a quick 2-minute break. When we come back, it'll be time for the weekend recap. Or week ahead, whatever. One of the two.
One of the two. We'll see you after the break.
Goodbye.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
Welcome back into season 23, episode number 2 of Laker Connections, your only place for all things Laker sports. I'm Kane Gerard, co-hosted by the luxurious Lucas
thank you for
McGarry.
that
I am
one.
going to run out of, I believe they're adjectives.
L
adjectives
yeah.
at the end of this one. But Lucas, I think we're going to get straight into the weekend recap.
Sounds
So
good.
with spring sports here at Oswego in full swing, it is time to do our weekend recap. We will cover scores from a couple of squads who played games at home recently. And Lucas, this is more of a midweek recap with the women's lacrosse team's matchup happening just yesterday versus Fredonia. So take me what happened to that one.
Yeah, the Oswego State women's lacrosse team had a dominant 21-6 victory over Fredonia in their recent matchup. The Lakers fired off 36 shots with 28 landing on goal, while Fredonia managed just 15 shots with 9 on goal. Oswego also controlled possession, forcing 20 turnovers compared to Fredonia's 9. The team's offense was explosive. They had 6 different players with hat tricks, including 2 players with 4 goals. Their defense was stout throughout, and goalie Alana Yakovisi recorded 4 saves. I think this is a very strong performance, and coach should definitely be excited for what's next.
Absolutely. I mean, the team's off to a hot start. You saw some very large victories early on in that non-conference
a bunch
play.
of huge games for the Lady Lakers.
Bunch
started
of
off.
huge games for these women's teams at Oswego, but
it's really
this
exciting,
one,
honestly.
It is, and this is another big one. I mean, 21-6, a huge win, and look at the shot differential on your screen. 36-15, 28 on goal compared to Fredonia's 9.
Yeah, that's
just
a big, big difference. It's a huge, huge momentum builder.
It's not a winning recipe. But I guess it's enough. We'll talk about that. Let's move on to baseball now. So, the Oswego State men's baseball team suffered a 5-3 loss to Fredonia in the recent matchup against the Fredonia Blue Devils. The Lakers were out-hit by Fredonia 11-4 and struggled to capitalize on their opportunities. Fredonia pitcher Morgan Zientra went all 9 for the Blue Devils, pitching a gem. Oswego did manage to go up 2-0 going to the 6th with Joel Hayner pitching as well. But with one swing of the bat and a 2 RBI single later, it was tied. Then it was Alec Conrad for the Lakers coming in to relieve Hayner in the 8th. That would make or break the game, as he would give up 1 run in the 8th and 2 in the 9th, giving the Blue Devils the edge to shut the door after the Lakers tried to tie a late game push, scoring one in the ninth. Lucas, you wrote this horribly.
I did not write it horribly. It might have tongue twisted a little bit. Okay, I did not write it horribly. You could not read it properly. I wrote that fine.
You tongue twisted me so
I
bad.
did tongue twister. I didn't realize.
Why would you do that to
I didn't
me?
realize it was a tongue twister until you started to read it. That's my bad. I think I wrote it fine. You were just yapping, but I mean.
Wow, dude. Well, let's look at some of the stats on the screen. I mean, they meet up again this weekend. We'll get into that.
We're gonna get into that.
We'll get there. But Fredonia with a 5-3 win. 4 hits for Fredonia compared to Oswego's 11. It's crazy to me that they still could win on that stat. And one error on each squad. I mean, it doesn't really make all that large of a difference. And I guess with opening day in the MLB, today's also opening day for the Lakers at home. But Lucas, I'm going to stop it right there. I think it's all the time we have for our week ahead. So we're going to go to another quick break. And when we come back, it'll be time. You guessed it, the week ahead. Stick around. You're watching Laker Connections right here on WTOP-10.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30? Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man. Whoa. Did you know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a closer with that one.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Welcome back into season 23, episode number 2 of Laker Connections, your only place for all things Laker sports. I'm Ken Gerard, co-hosted by the lucky Lucas McGarry.
You just used lucky.
Oh, did I?
You used lucky first block. Yeah, come on, Kenny.
Ludicrous.
Lucky.
I like that.
All right,
ludicrous.
so we're lucky,
the ludicrous
luxurious,
Lucas
and then
McGarry.
Right,
now, Lucas,
good.
no more yapping. Let me finish my reader here.
Go ahead.
We have discussed the past, and now it's time to look ahead at the week ahead. Lucas, kick things right off. Let's pick up right where we left off before the break. Take me ahead to what the baseball team is doing this weekend.
Yeah, so tomorrow the Oswego State men's baseball team will look to bounce back in their doubleheader against SUNY Fredonia after a tough 5-3 loss. Fredonia enters the game with an 8-4 overall record and a 1-0 overall record in conference play, while Oswego holds a 9-6 record and is 2-2 in SUNYAC. Fredonia has been hitting well with a team batting average of .305, while Oswego is slightly behind at .281. In the recent game, the Lakers were out-hit by Fredonia 11-4, struggling offensively all game. Oswego will need to wake up their bats and really crack down on the pitching if they are to improve and get a couple of W's tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick shout out to Fredonia, Alex Gannon, Mohannes, alumni. Shout out, Alex. I'm rooting for you and nobody else. But besides that, for the Lakers, yeah, I mean, looking at the records, it's a pretty even matchup. I mean, in conference 2-2 compared to the 1-0. Apparently, Fredonia has no team average, but for Oswego, 305 is a good average. So, I mean, you know, it's going to be a tough matchup. I mean, it was today, as we saw. And it's a close game, and it was obviously not like a blowout on either side, like some of the lacrosse games we've seen early on. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the squad. I mean, again, I'm not confident in either way this team can go in this one. I think it might be a split series.
Yeah, no, I fully agree, especially after the way they played. And you saw they put in a reliever in the 8th inning, and he gave up 3 runs to lose the game. So I feel like that's a coaching issue of he didn't put the right guy in there. So I think something you got to think about is when am I putting these guys in at the right spot so I'm not putting them in a situation that they're not going to thrive in. So you got to think about something like that. But you know this team, you already played them, so I think now both teams have a better idea of what they're going to be going up against, and I think it should be interesting to see how they play out over 2 games.
It absolutely is. But moving on to the softball team now, on Friday at 3 p.m., the Oswego State women's softball team will face Clarkson in what is a very even matchup on paper. Clarkson enters the game with a 5-7 record and a .246 team batting average, while Oswego, they have a slight edge over them with a 6-8 record and a .285 team batting average. Both teams have shown solid pitching performances, while Clarkson holding a 3.17 team ERA, while Oswego slightly better with a 2.90. The season's still only just beginning. This game is just like all the other early season openers. It will be crucial for both teams to use to build momentum. The Lakers will need strong pitching performance and a awakening of their bats to pick up a win over the Golden Knights. I like saying awakening the bats. We said that a lot today.
Did we?
I feel like we said it a couple of times.
I think I might have just said, well, wakening up the bats because the men's team for baseball didn't do so well last time. But no, I think it goes without saying. Obviously, waking up the bats in either baseball or softball, you gotta do it if you want to win. But I think for the softball team, it's not the way they wanted to start the season, but it's not the worst start that they've had. At least since I've been there, they've struggled a lot. But I think now they have close to a 500 record, and I think that is improvement from past seasons. So I think for them, just building and building, and you really just got to try and get better as a whole team.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just going to be that building on things. And you say awakening the bats as something you said a lot, but you really can't win in this sport if you don't hit the ball. So, I mean, as simple as that sounds, it is very fundamental and important for both these squads. Oswego having the slight edge. It'll be very good to see how they do against an evenly matched team before we start getting into the depths of the SUNYAC and before we get into that late April into early May and into playoffs. It'll be interesting to see what they can do against such a tough and, well, tightly contested opponent.
Yeah, no, I think for both of these teams, you got to look at your base players, the ones that are really going to make a difference in every single game. And I think if you rely on them, you're going to be able to work stuff out. But yeah, we're going to now take a look at the women's lacrosse team moving from the field, from the diamond over to the field. On Saturday at 1 p.m., the Oswego State women's lacrosse team will look to extend their strong season as they face off against SUNY Morrisville. Morrisville enters the game with an 0-3 record and has struggled offensively, averaging just 4.6 goals per game while giving up 22 goals per game. The Mustangs recently suffered a tough 7-29 loss to Oneonta. In contrast, Oswego comes in at 5-2, averaging a dominant 15.8 goals per game and allowing just 8. The Lakers have had impressive wins, including 2 games where the final score was 20-2. And with both a strong offense and strong defense, I think Oswego should have a very, very good time taking advantage of a much, much weaker conference opponent and really getting a boost in those conference rankings early.
Yeah, I mean, Oswego with such a hot start early on in the season. Again, we talked early on about those non-conference matchups, and, well, they were huge wins against schools like Keuka College. So if they come into this one, they already lay the smackdown on Fredonia. Yeah. It's just a matter if they're going to lay the smackdown again on Mooresville. Building up on these easier opponents is important because, keep in mind, not this upcoming week, but the week following, they're going to meet up with an opponent that they have still never beat. That's Cortland. And that's a tough team for both the men's and women's team. They are coming into town, and it's sure to be a good one. I'm very sure of it. But these games are important for that because you got to build in the fundamentals. Even if a team that you think you can beat, you still have to beat them. You can't come in with the mindset you're going to win, especially when you have a team like Cortland coming in soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you got to build up because Cortland is the team to beat, without a doubt. That's all you can say.
Absolutely. Yeah, Cortland's a tough team to beat. But Mooresville, again, don't come in with the mindset that you're just going to come in and walk right through this one. You're definitely going to have to come in and put on a good performance to beat any team in the SUNYAC. And every single conference matchup is an important one no matter what time of the season it is. But, Lucas, that's all the time we have for our week ahead. When we come back, it'll be time for everybody's favorite segment, minus the Mike Neckers part of it.
Minus Mike Neckers.
Laker Showdown. See you after the break.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man. Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a closer with that one.
Broadcast
Matthew,
news.
look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back into Season 23, Episode number 2 of Laker Connections, your home for everything Laker sports and lovable Lucas. It is time to welcome back our Laker Showdown moderator, unfortunately, Michael Neckers. Lucas, why don't you explain to those at home what is a Laker Showdown?
So basically, you have two Lakers, myself and Kenneth, and we are going to be battling in a series of 3 games that our good friend Michael will be listing off or reading out to us, and he will decide what answer is better, and it will be best of 3. So, Mike, whenever you are ready, go ahead with the first question.
Well, gentlemen, my first question is really directed at Lucas.
Okay.
So, of course, NFL free agency has been pretty crazy all season, and one team that's still missing a really key part of their team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, my first question: who is the Pittsburgh's QB for this coming season? Lucas, you're up first.
Jackson Dart. We're drafting him in the next coming draft, and we're just going to say, you know what? We're trying it. No, they're okay. We know exactly what answer they're going to give. Kenny's going to give a really not funny answer because it's not happening. So I'm going to go with a realistic answer. Jackson Dart. I think he's a really talented guy, and I think he can be the future. Go ahead, Kenny. Say you're funny.
Daniel Jones. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers, and it's not really a debate. He didn't go to the Giants. The Giants actually got the better of the two, in my opinion. They got Russell Wilson.
He's not
Mr. Unlimited.
He's not going to the Steelers.
And also, Jameis, the funniest locker room in the NFL,
the Giants are set.
Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Tommy Cutlets in the same locker room? You kidding? I'm going on a tangent.
Oh, yeah, we got a little video. Kevin Durant!
Oh,
my gosh!
No, come on. Can we watch those? Can we watch those highlights? Put the highlights back.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
You've got all those guys, and you're still going to go 4-13 this
Absolutely.
season. But I'm going to give you the point. Going to give you the point for the first
Take
one.
for Manning.
Aaron Rodgers is not going to be the point.
He's going to be a Steeler.
All right, gentlemen, you ready for question number 2?
He better not be.
You ready for question number 2?
Yes.
With it being opening day for the MLB season, let's hear your way too early predictions. Who's winning it all?
Oh, it's the Yankees, 100% without a doubt.
Did I say you could go first?
I don't care.
Did I say you could go
care.
first? Well, I guess you're going first.
It's I'm taking it because I need to beat Kenny here, and it's going to be the Yankees 100% without a doubt. They are on a little bit of an avenging season, and I think last year they had a downfall, and I think now they're going to come back. Kenny, what are you checking your watch for? You're a Yankees fan too. You just can't accept it like I can.
Here's the thing.
Yankees are winning.
Well, here's the thing. I'm a Yankees fan, but I'm also a realist, and it's unfortunate you just don't know the Dodgers are going back to back.
They're not.
They have so much money. They have so much talent.
Doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter because Juan the sellout Soto is a Met. And I'm telling you right now, go ahead.
The Dodgers are sellouts. It worked one time. It's not going to work again.
They got their Mickey Mouse ring in 2020. They absolutely spankied the Yankees in 2024.
They did spanky the Yankees.
And they're going to spank the Astros in the World Series this year. That's right. The Astros are going in 2. And the Mets ain't doing nothing.
Hey,
Charlie,
your time's up.
The Mets are not
Stop
making
talking.
it. The Mets are not making it.
Stop talking. As a delusional Yankees fan, although I don't think it's going to happen, I have to go with Lucas's answer. The Yankees are winning it all this year. And gentlemen, last but not least, this one's a little different, not something we normally get to do. If you could have dinner with any one person in all of sports history, who are you getting dinner with? I'll give you 10 seconds to think.
I have my answer already.
I'll let him go then.
LeBron.
He's going first all 3 times?
LeBron James. There's no greater human being on the planet.
Scream it.
There's no LeBron! But there's no greater athlete on the planet. He has revolutionized a game like no other. LeBron is the greatest scorer. He's the greatest floor general. Every single attribute that goes with basketball, he's the greatest at.
Are you in love with him or something?
Yeah, I am. So I would love to have dinner with LeBron, Lake King, James.
Before you go, Kenny, would Bronny be there too?
Bronny can be there if he wants. Oh, no, it's totally fine. If he wants to show up, he can, but it's me and LeBron.
All right, Kenny, your turn.
I'll just be chaotic.
What's
Anyone in history?
See,
here's the thing.
Any sports figure in history?
Any sports figure in history.
Broadcaster, anything.
You know what? I'm going to go with a weird one. I'm going to go with Babe Ruth. Now, here's why I say that. Now, athletes today, you're going to go and eat some keto garbage.
No, that's not a bad answer.
I am a big fella. Babe Ruth was known for eating food and just absolutely cranking the baseball. So I am going to go with Babe Ruth. I think he's largely in charge like me. I think I'll have a better dinner and a great conversation and learn something about the old Yankees when they were successful.
That's not a bad answer at all. I think LeBron's still greater.
LeBron,
Mike, scream one more time.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. LeBron!
Right, go ahead, Mike.
LeBron, my glorious Pookie, my king. Of course, I would love to see him win, but I think Kenny makes some really solid points over here. Athletes today treat their bodies like temples. Babe Ruth, exact opposite. He was having the time of his life.
That's super. No,
I think I would really love to tag along for the time of my life with Babe Ruth on one night. So Kenny's gonna take this one.
That's
your winner, Kenny Gerard.
2-0. Keep count. Yeah, I beat you week 1 too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yikes, bro! You got to step it up.
Yikes. Well,
because we have a crappy judge.
I love our judge. I think he does a great job.
No, you don't. You
think he does a great
You say nasty things
control
about our
room
judge.
disagrees. Well, that's why you're in the control room and not out here talking. So mind your manners and get rid of that graphic.
LeBron!
Yeah.
All right, that's all the time we've got.
disagrees.
We got about 45 seconds left. I've dropped something. I'm not quite sure what.
We can just chit chat.
Mom, I know you're watching. I love you. Love you, Mr. Bean. Love you, Kennedy.
Mr. Beast!
Mr. Beast! What?
Wait,
my dog, Mr. Beast.
Oh, your dog's named Mr. Beast?
Yes.
Does he like Feastables?
No.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. Oh, he can't eat chocolate.
He likes steak, dude.
Right. Oh, well, that's a good
Beast,
choice.
Fancy Feast, Breaded Yeast, Lakers in 5.
Yankees are winning it all this year. Thank you for joining us for the second episode of season 23 of Laker Connection. We will see you in 1 week for episode number 3, season 23 of Laker Connection.
Good night!
Hey, how are you? You want to chat? Well, you're in luck. The Mick and Nick show is about to start. Oh, Nick! The Mick and Nick show is starting.
Oh, wait, let's go then.
Let's go. Welcome to the Mick and Nick Show. It's great to have you join us. Nick, what are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to be playing some Would You Rather, dive deep into our feelings from real talk, and psychologically torture our guests with...
Secret coming up later.
Okay.
All right. So right now we're going to play, just a simple game of Would You Rather. Alrighty. Okay, first question. Would you rather eat pasta or pizza for the rest of your life?
That's really hard, as an Italian. I gotta say, I do love both. There's definitely differences as well, where it's like, you can have anything on the pasta, you can have anything with pizza. But I would go with pizza just because I do love pizza. I've had pizza like for dinner last night and the night before, so that speaks volume. I could do it again tonight if I really wanted to, but I probably shouldn't.
I would choose pasta just because you can do so many things with it. And it's not too weird. So, you can make mac and cheese, you can make carbonara, you can do so many, you can add so many things as long as it has sauce and veggies and meat. You can have the whole food group in there. So
no, exactly.
That's why I say pasta. Sometimes pizza. I I could see what you can do with pizza, but like if you put pineapple on there, I'm not your friend.
No,
anymore.
exactly. Like I don't like
anymore.
pineapple on pizza either.
So you can't put fruit on your pizza.
I mean, you're right, but you can't put fruit in your salad, your pasta. Yeah. So.
I guess.
Let's go to the next one. Would you rather live in the ocean or in space for 10 years?
Yeah, that's a hard one because both are extremely terrifying.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I would say like probably the ocean, just because like give it like the whole like Aquaman vibes or something. Maybe I'll like find like Atlantis or something.
I would do the ocean too, just because like at least you know there's stuff in the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what's in it, but like we at least know that things in it exist. With space,
Also, it's like limited. With space, it's like infinite.
Literally infinite. It's like just a void. Yeah, yeah. And like, I don't know, in both instances, like physically, you'll probably change quite a lot because there's no like set like gravity. But I feel like if you're in the ocean, you'd also get like really strong.
I feel like you get strong, but also you get like kind of get like maybe taller in a sense, or maybe sometimes like if you depending on like the pressure.